Hi, Julia.
Hi,
We
Aya. How you doing?
we are now live, and Summer is here with me. Bo is not sure whether he wants me to be able to live stream right now because he knew that I was trying to live stream with you on Facebook, and so he thought we were done because he heard us stop talking. But I'll have to humor him and get him something every once in a while.
Well, this doesn't have to be a super long live stream. We're just going to talk about a few like anomalies or just wonky things that we've noticed in our experience on YouTube. You've seen some things, right, that just seem kind of off, right, or just weird.
Yeah, there are issues with a lot of things, but I wanted to focus primarily on the copyright issue, if that's
Okay,
okay with you.
that's fine with me. Yeah, and I've been looking more into the copyright issue even this morning, and it is pretty funny, like just some of the things that I'm seeing. But I want to share the video on Facebook real quick, and then I'll tag you in it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll hurry because I know Bo wants to get back to whatever you guys were doing, like in regular time. Okay.
Yeah, he actually should give me a lot more time than he is, but he got confused by the fact that we
Oh, poor.
say bye to each other, so he thought we were done.
Oh, I should have said bye. I didn't think about that.
And Summer is just ready to go too.
Okay, so I'm almost ready to share it. I'm just going to share it here, and then later I'll share it on Twitter. Since this is kind of just on your second channel, I'm not going to worry as much about sharing it everywhere. But anyway, so the copyright issue, what are some of the things that you wanted to like start off by talking about?
Well, I might get lost and you'll forgive me, but I want to make sure. So I have some Wikipedia pages open, but I'm not gonna share them. I'm just gonna look at them for reference.
Okay.
So one of my favorite all-time folk music type things. It's a song. The lyrics are by Robert Burns, and it's called "Auld Lang Syne."
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Wikipedia article about Robert Burns, and he was born in Alloway, Ayrshire, Scotland, on the 25th of June. I'm sorry, the 25th of January, 1759, and he died on the 21st of July, 1796, at the age of 37.
Wow. Well, back then that was kind of common though. Like it wasn't so unheard of. Like it's just a lot of people would die in their late 30s to early 40s.
Right. Okay, so because I love that song, um, I'm gonna see if I can come back so I can see you. Yeah, because whenever I'm looking at something else, even if you can see me, I look weird, right?
Well, I can't even tell because I was kind of just I'm listening to you, but I was looking on Facebook to see if anybody had kind of liked what we were, because that is a good indicator. And I see two people watching, and we have one comment saying, "Hello, my love." So some people are watching right now.
Okay. Well, is it somebody who loves you?
Oh, I think it's for you. Like it's somebody that
Oh,
likes your channel. It's not. I don't know even who this is. It's Haldo Rodriguez. It's somebody that seems to follow your
oh,
channel.
okay. Well, hello. Uh, anyway, yeah. So I like that song. I use it on a lot of my videos, and the song itself should definitely be out of copyright, right? The song. Now, I'm not talking
Yeah.
the recordings, but there is an archive of free music, and I found it online a while back, and I started using that site. And one year, I decided to put up an old, basically a home movie, and I called it Aya in Britain, and it showed my family and me when I was very little, going through Scotland and then going to England. And I thought, oh, what a great idea to put this song, Auld Lang Syne, on that video, on that home movie, because it's a silent movie. There are no,
Yeah.
there's no conversation on it. It's just the video. So we need some kind of audio for it. I thought Old Lang Syne was great. So I went to the Free Music Archive, okay? And at that time, I was not monetized on YouTube. I was just, showing my stuff without getting paid for it.
Yeah, sure.
So I found this recording, and it was Nevada Vanderveer, okay? And it was on the Free Music Org site. Now I'm going to read you something about Nevada, okay? Nevada Vanderveer was a very beautiful, she had a very beautiful voice. And I have her on the Wikipedia too. And she was born July 25th, 1884. And she died September the 26th, 1958.
Huh.
So she was a contralto singer, very beautiful. I love her voice. And so I decided to use her recording. And her recording was made in 1921.
Wow.
Okay. So,
That's
and it was,
definitely out of copyright then, right?
well, it has to do with when she died. She died in 58.
Oh,
And
okay.
in 2008, she would have been, it would be 50 years after she died. And it's been longer than that. And so, and the copyright law at the time when this was made was about, it said 50 years after the person died, okay? The artist.
Mhm.
So it was definitely available, but the Free Music Archive said you couldn't monetize it if you used it from their site. But I wasn't monetized at the time. So later on, so what I put on the on my video, Aya in Britain, is I put the link to where I got it. I wrote down the background music is Old Lang Syne, sung by Nevada Vanderveer from a public domain recording that can be accessed here, and I gave the link. Well, what happened was, after a while, when I did get monetized again, I got a notice that all my money was going to somebody else from that video. And I thought, okay, well, it's the Free Music site, and they're using it to fund their work of digitizing everything. So I thought, it's okay. And I let the whole thing go.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, naturally.
But come to find out, YouTube has written on my description that the song that's playing there is called Let the Merry Church Bells Ring, that the artist is called Tom Logan, that it comes from Christian Music Collection Volume 8, and it is licensed to the Orchard Music on behalf of Christian Records. But what do you think of that?
I think that's really strange. That doesn't make any sense because it's a totally different song.
Right. So the problem is you can't talk to YouTube at all. You can't reason with them.
Yeah, exactly.
When they will, if you ask, they will manually review it, but I don't know how they manually review, because sometimes they come back and say that something is suitable. Oh, good news. We found out that it was suitable.
Yeah.
They never give you back the money that they owe you for the time when they thought it was not suitable.
Nope.
And then other times they will say it's not suitable. And if you ask for an additional explanation, they will say, I sent you a copy of that message, that an email that I got, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And they don't really.
They basically say, well, I went over it again, and the system shows that you violated one of our conditions, and we're not going to tell you which one, but you can go and look at our terms of service and find out which one it was.
That's ridiculous. And by the way, I've had a few videos that are not allowed to be monetized again, but it has no rhyme or reason. They said the walking at nighttime video, where I was just talking about walking and long hair, was not suitable for advertiser dollars. And then the second video, drinking coffee, was not suitable. So they came back and said, oh, okay, the walking at night one's okay. You can have ads on that one again, but the drinking coffee one is not suitable.
Oh, because maybe in Mormon country you're not. Oh, or maybe in Muslim country you're not supposed to drink that too. Do you think that's what
Oh,
it is?
I don't know. They drink coffee like in like Islam, but there was a kid that commented on the video saying that coffee wasn't good for kids. But I don't really think my videos are like marketed towards children. And I think like ever since the kid said that on my video, like they just decided that video is not suitable for monetization.
Okay, maybe they thought that you were underage when they saw you drinking coffee.
I don't know the reason. There's like no reason. And then the talking at night one, I really can't figure out why, except the only thing I can kind of think is, okay, I tried out this part of YouTube where it says you can geolocate a video, and I was gonna just delete it later, but I kept it for some reason, and I can't really take it off. But it geolocated the video to this one tax building, like that does tax preparation,
Wow.
and I wonder if that's why it's not suitable. Maybe they think it's an ad or something. I don't know. That's all I can think about for that one. But then they said the ad revenue was okay on that video and not the coffee one. So I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know where I would stand with the Nevada Vanderveer thing, but I think it's completely wrong that somebody by the name of Tom Logan or this Christian record company is getting all the revenue from my family video of going to Scotland and England, just because I used the thing from Free Music. Now, if the Free Music org people said, okay, we don't want you to have that revenue, fine, because that's where I got it. But otherwise, why should it go to these people?
Go to them.
Yeah. So obviously it's so convoluted that I don't.
What I would do in this situation, I would direct tweet YouTube creator on Twitter, tell them I would like an explanation why, have them message you back, talk about the video, and then if you can talk to a person, maybe you can ask them, is there a better way that we can dispute like all these claims on videos?
Well, here's what I think should happen. And this is it's related to Nassim Taleb and his ideas. I think that if I make a mistake, when I post something I should not, I can understand that there's going to be a penalty for me with regard to revenue and views as well. But if they make a mistake, then they should have a penalty. Otherwise, they're free to make as many mistakes, and later they'll say, oh, good news, we found out that video isn't let the church bells ring. Well, no, that's not good news. Good news is if you would now make good the wrong that you did me, because it was a wrong. And the same thing goes with that video where there were flowers and they said it was unsuitable because of the flowers. And then it's not just that they deprived me of the revenue, the minute revenue for the, couple of days when they thought it was unsuitable, but the way you get into viral videos is they check and see how fast you're gaining viewers during the first 24 hours. So you're not even eligible to be suggested unless you start gaining really fast.
Yeah, for most videos, that's definitely true. I have one viral video that really took off recently where I don't know if that was completely true, where it just something happened where somebody shared it and then it went viral. So most of the time, like 99% of the time, the number of views you get within the first day make the difference. But the one video that went really viral on my channel recently was from, I think, August of 2017. It didn't have a large number of views up until recently, and then it just skyrocketed. In that case, I think it's because somebody shared it and somehow it got into but that was kind of an anomaly. That's not going to usually happen.
Right. So anyway, I just think that as long as they're not penalized for making mistakes and they can say, hey, it wasn't a person who made the mistake, it was our algorithm. Well, I don't care. If you want to do business and use an algorithm instead of a person checking videos and your algorithm makes a mistake, then your algorithm should be penalized. You should be penalized for what you did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but then the thing is, we still need a way to get to a person at YouTube where we can talk to them about this. Like, we still need to be able to talk to a person that's not just going to say, well, go back and look at the policy. Like, that doesn't help us. Like, we need a better way.
I mean, and they also wrote on my description. So I had a description that says it's Nevada Vanderveer, and they changed it to something else. I mean, they wrote something else. So they shouldn't have the right to do that without my permission.
No, they shouldn't. And I haven't looked at the description of that video, so there's no way you can change it back now?
Well, I'm not going to. I'm not going to even deal with that because I don't want to be penalized for messing with their copyright stuff. I need them to change it now.
I'm not sure. Like, I would think you could go back and just.
No, I want them to see what they did. I need
Okay.
I need to take their nose and point it in there the way you do with a small puppy and say, this is what you guys did. You know, so it doesn't make any sense for me to change it.
Okay.
They changed it. I want an explanation for why they did that.
Okay, if that's fine, like, you can definitely do that. That's your problem.
Otherwise they'll say, oh, you put that there or whatever. No, I didn't. I want them to see what they did.
Okay. I probably would I deal with it a little bit differently. Like, when that's happened to me before, what I do is I just go in and I swap out the music and I rewrite the description, and that's just how I do it. And then I remonetize my video that way. Because I don't want to deal with them. Like, I'm not going to go there because I feel like, how are we going to get them, like, good? I think it'd be great if you can get them to look at it, but how are you going to get them to look at it? That's my next question. Like,
well, I'm not saying that I know a way how, but I have over 2,000 videos. I can't be dealing with everyone and re-uploading it because it actually costs me. I have very limited internet.
yeah, definitely.
I've already invested in that video, and I need to, if I'm going to be monetized, I need to go forward and not constantly be going back. So I can't re-upload that, even though it's a very short video. What I need to know is what the rules are, and if the rules are not acceptable to me, I can go someplace else and do this.
Okay, that's totally acceptable,
Yeah, but my point, it's like that with everything. It's like what I said, if somebody stops you and says, a police officer, and says you were speeding and you were not speeding, the consequence of that should be that if he's wrong, he's going to be penalized at least as much as I would be penalized if he's right. Unless this happens, this is not ever going to stop because they're basically fishing for revenue for somebody else.
Yeah.
And if they can change their mind or not, but the damage that it does to somebody small who can't litigate is pretty serious.
I just would like to be able to talk to a person about it, like where you can talk to them about it like you're talking to me. Like, I would like them to make it easier and more conducive where you can communicate with them instead of just like this manual review button that has this arbitrary yes and no answer. That's what I would like.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, that's the reason everybody has to stay small. As soon as things become too large, you don't have a person to talk to.
Yeah. But they have been saying recently that they wanted feedback, like on that video that I watched about monetization issues, that they want some sort of feedback about what they can do to improve their method. And just my feedback is you need to have some way where we can direct message you to discuss these things. And yes, they may have a limited staff that can deal with these things, but we need a better way to get in touch with a person that would talk to us, especially if we're in the monetization program, and they need to provide a better answer than just what they've been doing.
Right. And if not, we need to go someplace else and do this someplace else. Because as long as we're the captives, you know, and we don't have an arm's length situation with them anyway. I mean, they basically dictate the terms and we accept or reject them. That's all we really have the right to do. We
Yeah.
can't go in there and negotiate a different contract.
I tried going somewhere else though. I tried putting my videos on Daily Motion and they made like 11 cents over the last 6 months. So I did try going somewhere else, but just the problem with going somewhere else is, am I going to get as much traffic as I would get on YouTube? And I don't really like their system, but then I feel like on the same token, YouTube is the place right now where I'm going to get the most views and the most traffic potential. And I uploaded similar videos on Daily Motion and I just didn't get that. And I uploaded some videos to my own blog and I didn't get any views at all. So that's just my only
and
contention.
we just tried Facebook. We were going to do this video on Facebook, which is another possibility. Another possibility is Instagram. Unfortunately, when you and I just tried Facebook, we were not able to do this joint live streaming thing.
Yeah, we couldn't do it there. And then with Instagram, you have to have so many followers and then you can get like sponsorships on there. Like you basically have to have several 100,000 followers and then you can get sponsorships on Instagram. So Instagram doesn't really have a great monetization in my opinion either. So where else could we go? I guess that's just my only question. Like, I don't like what YouTube's doing, but I feel like it on the same token, I feel like I kind of am stuck right now until I find an option that's better.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I'm not pretending that I have other options. I'm just saying that this is a problem that I see society-wide. It's not just about YouTube. You know that?
Yeah.
Not. It's just you know what happens to me with my internet provider? Every few weeks it goes out. And I call them and eventually it goes back on. And they never, here's the thing.
They have to credit you back for those hours it's out. Did you know that?
They never do. They never do.
They do here in California. And in California, like when you call them, they give you a day's credit, like if it's out. That's interesting. See, I didn't know that with yours.
And they never do. And really what I should do is go take my business elsewhere, but I'm way out in the country. And I can't. I mean, I do have another service at the other house. The other house is within the city limits of a very small municipality. And where I live, I'm not within any limits.
Yeah, I think that's the trick to it is honestly, like the only reason when I call like the local cable company here and I ask for a credit back if the service is out, it's because there's so many people. And if they're all going to be complaining, they're going to get their phone tied up and they're going to be annoyed and they're going to be like, okay, we're going to do it. Whereas if you're out in a like more rural area, which I lived in once, they're not going to do as many things for you. Like I had the same problem like when I lived out near Arizona and I would ask them, do you have weekend installation? They'd be like, no, because we just work these hours Monday through Friday and we need to go home and have a weekend. Whereas here, like you can get someone to come out and install like pretty much any day of the week. Almost, maybe not Sunday, but I think that's the difference, right? You know,
right. Stay tuned, but and keep talking. I'm gonna just offer Bo some fuzzy water, and because he wants something.
Okay, so hello, Ezodina says hello. Are you psychology? Well, if you look at this video, we're not really talking about psychology. What we're talking about is copyright issues. And Aya has a lot of really good points about how she's going to maybe, and it applies to other areas. She's going to help Bo for a moment. So I guess like everybody, they have a different take on this. And yes, I don't like that they take our revenue away, but just in my experience, like I don't like re-editing a video, but I will probably do that for myself. Like I'm gonna go back and re-edit videos because until I can talk to a person, I really don't know how I can change it. So that's just my take on the whole copyright thing. Another weird thing about copyright things though that I am seeing on YouTube is that they're showing me all these people who are using parts of my video and asking me if I want to do DMCA claims against them. And it turned out these people were really using my video and parts of my video. In this case, I'm not going to do a DMCA claim against the people doing that because they were just videos of people saying that they liked what I posted. And I think anybody can go on YouTube and see that my channel is my channel, and that these people were doing like compilation videos on a topic that they liked. So,
well, I think what would be nice for you is if you got revenue from their video. You don't necessarily have to tell them to take it down. You can make a deal with them and say, okay, you can use my video, but only in this way, and I want so much revenue, a percentage of your revenue on that video. I think that would be fair.
That would be fair if YouTube had like a system where I could do that. These people don't seem to have any revenue. They just like a certain topic I post about. So they have like one of my videos, one of somebody else's videos. So I don't think they're ever going to have monetization. It's just like some sort of a person that likes this topic. But that's a good idea. Like if you had a big enough channel and the person that copied part of your video did have monetization, I think there should be a way that you would request revenue. And I know that the bigger media corporations can do that, like Vivo. They do that, right? Like when they have one of their music videos.
That's exactly what they did to me with that Auld Lang Syne thing, except it was wrong because, you see, it wasn't what they thought it was.
Nope, it was not. And I would like you to be able to follow through with all these things that you're talking about. I think it'd be great. I just feel like YouTube makes it too difficult, and I think they do that on purpose because they don't want anybody following up on these things unless they're a big giant YouTuber that goes to YouTube like headquarters and does a live stream with them or something.
Yeah, Summer is sitting on my lap. Can you see that? He decided he wanted to sit on my lap. And he says, okay. He says, okay.
By the way,
yeah,
somebody said that they wanted to know if your channel was about psychology, but I just explained to them it wasn't. But they got
okay.
So there are some more comments here. People are watching you today.
Well, that's good. I wonder why they thought it was about psychology. That's interesting.
Maybe because you're talking about the Nassim Taleb and you guys kind of are talking about like the tit for tat thing, and maybe it does have like a psychological undertone, like when, like the example of the cop, if he does the wrong thing and he's not, like how he should have a consequence if he makes the wrong decision, right? Like maybe there's some psychology element to it, I guess. He was curious about, I don't know.
Yeah, so if it is psychology, it's more like cognitive, and it's actually the behavioral side of game theory, which is actually part of mathematics.
Interesting. So, but continuing on with copyright issues, like how do you think we could be able, because I want a concrete, like I like a concrete result. Like I would like to see a change made. Like what do you think needs to change so we could actually talk to a human at YouTube as opposed to just getting that manual review process?
Well, I think maybe we need to organize together and hire an attorney, not just for one person, but for a group of us, because I think that the reason something like Christian Records gets to have my revenue is because they have attorneys representing them. And I think that if you and I and a lot of other very small channels got together, we could hire an attorney that would represent our interests and would make sure that we were not taken advantage of.
That would be a good idea, yeah.
But, you know, I mean, YouTube has this new thing that is supposed to find for us who is using our material. And I think I told you that they were suggesting somebody was using my material. And I looked at it, and it was a bunch of people in Africa speaking French, you know, and you know, it didn't seem to have anything to do with me. Now, if I had wanted to make trouble for those people, I could have said, yes, they stole my material, but I didn't see anything. So of course I didn't do that.
Yeah, that's kind of scary because then I think, like in your case or somebody else's case, then it makes me think like, did this group like they must have known, right? Like, do they not look at their YouTube page? They must have known that YouTube was somehow monetizing your video to them. Like, didn't they look and see? That's my question about all that. Like,
Exactly. So
wow, I see why you're really upset about this. This is wrong. This is like, how can that be right? That's so wrong on so many levels.
right. So I mean, it's possible they're such a large corporation that they didn't look to see if it was true or not, but somebody ought to be held accountable for
Yeah.
at least trying to find out, is it really the song? Is it our song? You know, if it were a small musician, they have pride in their work. So they would go and check. And if they saw it as a different person singing, it's not them, they wouldn't claim that.
Of course not. Like us regular YouTubers, we have the time, the common sense. Well, we make the time. We don't have the time, but we make the time to care. Whereas this sounds like it might just be a large business outlet that doesn't really care. So they just are like, oh yeah, we're getting more money. Great.
Right, exactly. So that's what's wrong. And the reason it's wrong, and the reason the reason it continues this way is because there is no personal liability and there's no honor among these people. They have no sense of honor to make sure that they're not claiming income that is not due to them.
Yeah, that's pretty troubling to me. I hope this can change. I guess the only positive that I see to this is I would be embarrassed if I were that company, because I think like somebody might say something eventually.
Companies know no embarrassment. If you get further down in that book, Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb, that's exactly what he says. They know no shame because they're not people.
Yep. But then the Supreme Court say that corporations were people.
Yeah, I know they're not. And there are many, many ways in which they're not people. For one thing, they don't have to die, although very often they do die. So I've had many companies go bust during my lifetime, and I'm still alive. And one of the reasons is because they blow up. They're given to this kind of manipulation by people who don't care about the corporation, don't care about its good name, don't care about its financial viability. All they care about is how much money they can make off of it personally.
Yeah, that's
so
kind of sad, really. You should have some sort of liability. You shouldn't just be able to make money at the expense of others, where it's like just you're taking other people's property. You know?
Right. So this is why I don't think that corporations should have limited liability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the moment that they had the same liability as, you know, any person investing in the corporation and having a vote in who the CEO is going to be would be held jointly and severally liable for what the corporation does, then there would be nobody investing in the corporation who didn't also look into what it was the corporation did.
Yeah, that's a good point. And your book kind of talks about that, right? The few who count, isn't that what that's all about?
That is what it's all about. So all of this matters to me on a nitty-gritty level of, yeah, I want to make money off of YouTube, and I'm not going to hide that. But at the same time, I also want to live in a world where things work, you know?
And it's fair and it has sense, and it's not just like, yeah, by the way, this corporation that doesn't own your video is claiming rights to it.
Right. So on the other things that don't have to do with copyright, I have mixed feelings. So for instance, our interview with Karen Ann Harlows has been after manual review, they've determined that it's not suitable.
Oh, brother. Why? For what reason? I would like to know, but it makes no sense to me. But I think I kind of feel like it's arbitrary, and maybe somebody who watches it decides they don't like a certain part of it, a video, and they're like, yeah, the system's right. Or they watch another video and they're like, oh, there's nothing wrong. It's very arbitrary.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's no due process to it, because when they tell me you better go check, you'll know what it is you did wrong. Well, I don't. I have no idea what we did wrong. And
No, yeah, I don't know. I have an idea that somebody didn't like, that somebody has a differing opinion, or an opinion that might make them feel uncomfortable or something. Why, I don't know, but she probably said something that they didn't like, and that was it. Just like, I don't know, somebody didn't like that I drank coffee, and that video was just had forever. I don't know.
it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but I certainly cannot be checking every video to see if they have identified it as being something other than what it is. I have a life too. I have birds to take care of. I have
Yeah,
Gen Z to take care of. I can't do that.
yeah, nobody can do that, and I think they kind of know that, and that's why they're like, hey, this is a great way of like depriving people of monetization, because then we don't have to worry about it as much. And they think a lot of people won't follow up on it, and they'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So it's kind of like what happened at Hub Pages. I know that if I went back and I fixed whatever it is they say is wrong today, tomorrow, the last week, uh, they keep changing the rules.
I don't even know what the rules are over there. And to be honest with you, they said that you had to have these wonderful hubs. And I had a hub that went to one of the art sites, but recently I got a notice saying, sorry, your hub no longer meets the quality of the site, even though it had been approved to be on that site 2 years ago, right? They said it was a great hub. It was approved to be on the site, but then recently they said, no, it doesn't meet the quality anymore, so they took it back. It's kind of like taking someone's award away. I don't like that either. Like, you give somebody, like, you recognize like somebody's body of work, and then you decide years later, well, there's one idea I don't like that that person expressed, so we're just going to take that award away, or we're going to take it back. It's like, I don't like that. We're going to give you this, but later on, if we don't like you, or we don't like something you said or did, we'll take it back.
Right. It doesn't make any sense, because what they're saying is the quality has changed, but what really has changed is their standard of what is.
Oh, yeah, my friend Cherish had a really good comment about that, because she actually started writing on Hub Pages a little bit, like when I did, like, because I invited people. Because remember, you could get some monetization if you invited friends. So anyway,
Yeah.
she went on there and she was like, people are just posting pictures on there. I'm really confused. So I went and looked, and this lady just posted a picture of her pregnancy test on there. And I thought that was confusing, because I thought, that's not what Hub Pages is about, and we used to get in trouble for that. So I just wrote a comment on there. I said, I don't think you're just supposed to post a picture there. And she like deleted my comment, and all these other people's comments were like praising the fact that she was pregnant. So it had changed where I guess like now you can just post a picture on there, and it's like a social networking site in a way,
Right.
which confused me, because before, like, they would say that was spam. Remember, like, the Indian Hummer
Yeah.
incident? Was that before your time?
I remember that they told us we definitely weren't. It was, we had to have so many words and content.
Yeah. Well, there was some people, they wrote a lot of content like that. They wrote these really nice movie reviews, and I had a friend, like, he was learning English. I think he was doing a really good job, and he loved Bollywood movies, so he would include a few pictures. And they said that that was just not allowed, because those pictures weren't his. Or even if it was somebody's picture, they were like, if it's just one picture, that's not allowed. Like, the whole picture thing was so controversial back in the day, but like now you can just post a picture there and it's all good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Eventually, we need to have our own sites where we make the rules, so that the rules don't change on us all the time.
Well, you do have a site though, like Hub Wages, where people can post if they want to.
I wish I wish I could host videos there. That's what I wish.
That's my thing. Like, I feel like I wish WordPress would make it easier to post a video on our own WordPress hosted site. And I would like there to be a way to do that where it could be viewed.
Yeah. But
That might be.
let's be real also. They cut the, Google actually controls how much viewership you have even on your own site.
Oh
So,
yeah, they do. They definitely do, for sure. I have some video, like one post on my own site. It's very viral. People have a lot of interest in it, but then other ones don't get traffic at all.
yeah. Well, I mean, I have some sites that do get a lot of views, like Historia Obscura. It's a lot of views, but and returning people and people who are interested in history, and maybe even students who want to write history papers and are looking for material. But that one is not monetized.
Oh, so then, I mean, you could always, have you considered monetizing that particular site, or you just don't want to do that?
I want to do it differently. If I start monetizing that with AdSense and they don't like what I say, if they like Alexander Hamilton and hate Aaron Burr, they're going to start to downgrade me.
You think so? Okay. That's too bad. Yeah. Because I was thinking, well, just another thought, maybe. I know that there are sites where you can like get a sponsor, where you can buy an ad, and maybe it's just not a Google affiliated site, and you could have some sort of sponsorship for that site, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. I had a friend who said she knew how to do that, and I was waiting for her to sort of teach me.
You can do it. It's just, it takes a little bit of research. I did it on one of my sites, and I guess my only drawback was I had made like 15 cents, so it wasn't really worth it. There's probably a better way to do it. But I feel like once you get more followers on social media, that's when you get to do it. I feel like they contact you, and I'm kind of waiting for that to happen to see if that ever happens. Because I feel like for me, in my case, maybe that's the only way.
Yeah, well, we should get together on some of this stuff. You're a history major.
I know. I am a history major, and I should write more history things on your site, which I've wanted to do, but I just haven't done that. I have thought about it, but I would want to write something really good, because I wrote a few things on your site, but I would want to research something more. I feel like if I posted it there, because your site is just very history oriented.
Yeah. Well, I think since I don't have it monetized, the way that you could earn from that is if you made videos to go along with the article and embed it in there.
Yeah. You could do the same thing too. Have you lately done any new Theodosia? I haven't looked lately, but just instead of posting it to Theodosia, maybe you post it there and you write something about it for John Lafitte Day. Is that coming up soon?
Oh, yeah. You're right. I should probably do that. You're right. I have been so taken up with.
You're busy though. I think, and now with the copyright issue, here we go. How much more time can we create in life? Not.
But you're right. That's a good idea.
Well, this is my thought. John Lafitte, what I think would be really interesting is maybe if you kind of could get in with Kate or something, and you guys could talk about John Lafitte and handwriting, a new take on it, maybe.
I tried once. I mean, I tried, and she got, well, I maybe misunderstood what she did as a handwriting expert. So okay. I wanted her to help me to authenticate the signature of Jean Lafitte and his handwriting in the journal of Jean Lafitte. And she basically let me know that she does not do that. That's not what she does. So.
Okay. I'm just thinking out loud. This is just a thought. Maybe we could do something write John Lafitte Day, and you and I can try and write like him, just as a fun video. And then.
Oh, okay. Sure. I would love to.
Yeah, you write something you write an article, but the video will just be write like John Lafitte Day, and we can embed that video onto your channel and you can monetize the video and then write an article, I don't know, somehow that ties in to John Lafitte. That's what I think. We'll try that.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay, I'm excited. So what day is John Lafitte Day?
I'm gonna have to check.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna look too. So, but I don't want to take up too much more time because I know like Bo probably wants to get back. Was there anything else we should discuss about the copyright issue before ending?
No, the only thing that I wanted to say is I do have a musical. This usually comes up with music. They act as if music is the only thing that is subject to copyright, and it's not. You know, everything is subject to copyright.
Yeah, Brent, yeah, everything.
But I do have a musical with Danielle Carter as the composer, and I have a bunch of songs. And if they ever go after those and pretend they were written by somebody else, oh boy, will I let them have it.
Yeah, definitely. And I was thinking maybe we can get together as YouTubers and maybe we could get a legal counsel. Maybe that is when one of those sites like GoFundMe would have a real purpose, because then we would all have a real purpose to band together and be like, would you like to support our channels if something weird like that happens? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe we should actually start a Patreon site, but not, you know, to pay our bills or anything like that, but just to help us to get YouTube to send a real person to talk to us so we can resolve these copyright issues and those other issues, the suitable issues.
And then on the Patreon site, maybe what we could do is we would do, like, if you are a patron, we would do a special live stream for them. That might be an interesting idea, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we should do that.
Okay. That's a good idea. I really like that.
Okay. So I'm going to let you go, but thank you for talking to me about this.
Yeah, no, it's very educational. Like, I feel like I understand the problem with the copyright even more now that you explained it to us. So thanks for sharing that insight.
Okay, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, have
Bye.
a wonderful day.